Tonight on the Nation Sports Show, we break down Week 5 in the National Football League. So far, this has been the best, competitive, and dramatic full slate of games that has taken place in one full week of an NFL season in quite some time. A lot of the games went down to the final minutes, full of drama and intensity. One of our hosts, Kevin Rory, said that the Bengals and the Ravens game during Week 5 was going to be the game of the week. And the game lived up to the hype. Tonight, we also bring to you our Week 6 prediction battles and more. It's showtime.
Good up to the court, talking all that is sport, breaking down the latest news, scores, and more. Welcome to our Nation Sports Show.
What is going on, everybody? Hi, guys. We are live once again for another edition of our Nation Sports Show. Right now, I am riding solo in the lead hosting chair right now. I am your host for this evening once again, Stephen Wyand. Unfortunately, Ezra is not here today, and Kevin will not be on the show with us this week, but joining me in about 15 minutes roughly will be our very own Joey Thornton to recap all the happenings in the National Football League, the MLB playoffs, and so on and so forth. And what a week it was in the NFL for this week. Lots of good games this week during Week 5 in the NFL, including the Bengals and the Ravens this past Sunday. Kevin last week on the show said that game was going to be the game of the week, and boy, oh boy, it was. And we'll be getting to that. I'll be getting to that here in a little bit with Joey when he joins, and going to recap all things Week 5 in the NFL, and also we're going to talk about this. And I want to bring this up here before we get to everything. Got to plug the social media platforms up first, folks, before I get things started with the news and stuff around the world of sports. Up first, you can find us on Twitter or X at @ON_sports show, Facebook.com/Nation Sports Show, and where I am live right now riding solo on this show this evening, YouTube.com/Nation Sports Show. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff, and share with your family, your friends that love the world of sports. And also, don't forget to follow the Nation's Corner on Twitter at Nation's Corner, Facebook.com/Nation's Corner, and where they are live on most Saturdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, 4 p.m. Pacific at YouTube.com/The Nation's Corner. And boy, oh boy, what a week it was in the NFL. But before I get to all the games that happened over the weekend that meant significantly to me, the breaking news came down early this morning that Robert Saleh has been fired as the coach of the New York Jets. Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? This was a political powerful move by Aaron Rodgers. We can all see that. Even a blind man can see that. Yours truly can see that clearly. And Robert Saleh was not the problem. Well, was he a part of the problem? Yes, Saleh was a part of the problem. But he wasn't the main problem. You want to know what the main problem was? The quarterbacking play of Aaron Rodgers. Because, for those that don't know, in the offseason, you were mandatory made to be at training camp. So you mean to tell me that you could not, that Aaron Rodgers, oh, you're one of the top quarterbacks in the National Football League, that you can decide whenever you want to show up, and you didn't show up for mandatory training camp? Stroking your ego, stroking your power, deciding when I can show up, when I cannot show up. And Robert Saleh gets fired because of your awful play the last couple of weeks. The first effect was the humiliating loss against the Denver Broncos in the rain. Yeah, not surprised the weather was bad, and it also affected the quarterbacking play of both Bo Nix and Aaron Rodgers. But Robert Saleh is not the one out there playing quarterback. Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback of the New York Jets. The Jets brought Aaron Rodgers to this organization because they thought if we brought a major name in the NFL who's been one of the best quarterbacks in NFL history in his professional career, all those years with the Green Bay Packers, just because you can snap your fingers and decide, oh, I'll bring Aaron Rodgers on board. That'll bring us success. Just because you have the best quarterback in the NFL, or not one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, that does not guarantee you're going to have success. You could have Tom Brady on that team if he was still playing in the NFL. And chances are, if the offensive line is that bad, chances are the quarterbacking is going to be bad, because you need to have an offensive line that is capable of blocking for your quarterback. And the New York Jets offensive line has been this bad. 5 games in, and you fire your head coach. Now, I know Saleh's record with the Jets was not great, 20-36. But Aaron Rodgers was the reason why this team has been bad. His offensive line has been the reason why this offense has not been clicking the last couple of weeks. You're going to have a reaction like this after 5 freaking weeks? You don't know what's going to happen in the NFL season. You can't predict or know what's going to happen when the regular season gets underway. The NFL, just like every other sports league, the NBA, MLB, NHL, it is a week-to-week basis. And Aaron Rodgers brought all his favorite toys to the Jets, and he hasn't done nothing. And how fitting he's playing the Buffalo Bills next with the Jets against the Jets are playing the Bills on Monday night, this upcoming Monday. The same game last year where he tore his Achilles. And am I surprised that this happened? Honestly, no. Because Aaron Rodgers is like LeBron James. Aaron Rodgers has all of this power to stroke his ego and do whatever the hell he wants. Robert Saleh did not deserve this. He did not deserve to be axed after 5 games. This is wrong on so many levels. Now, if it would have been, week 10, week 11, I could see that if they've been playing this bad. But we're 5 games in. Going into this game, they were 2-2. I don't know, Jets. Maybe you could be the Carolina Panthers or the Jacksonville Jaguars. Maybe you could be the Miami Dolphins, who they don't have Tua Tagovailoa right now because of concussion, issues. So you mean to tell me that you're going to axe your head coach Robert Saleh after 5 games, all because you don't want to lose the season right now. You don't want to jeopardize the young season. Just because you fired your head coach, that does not mean you're going to have success with the next manager coach. Because you're throwing the interim coach into the fire. You're throwing him into the literal fire. What if he sucks for the next 3-4 games? What the hell are you going to do? Fire his ass too? Then he ain't got a coach. You ain't got a coach. This is the first time since 1976 that the New York Jets have made a move like this to fire a head coach mid-season. This is pathetic by Aaron Rodgers and this Jets organization. Woody Johnson being the general manager of this organization, he probably let Aaron Rodgers stroke his ego, go, yeah, I want him out, screw him, get him out of here. This is ridiculous on so many levels. When I woke up and I read our Facebook chat this morning, and Ezra broke the news that Robert Saleh has been fired as the Jets head coach, I was sitting there going, wait, what? That literally just happened? Yes, it did, unfortunately. But yeah, this was massive news. I cannot leave this on the table without being the headlining, monologue to start off tonight's show. Because this right here literally trumps everything that went on to start out this NFL Week 5, what we were going to be talking about. If this firing did not come down, we will be leading off with the NFL discussion on how competitive these games are this past week. Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets are in a complete disarray. You bring in Mike Williams, you bring in Lazard, you bring in all these great players that Aaron Rodgers thinks he can bring in. And when you bring a player, star caliber players, and you can just snap your fingers and we'll have success. No, that's not the way this works. You have to have an offensive line. You have to have an offensive coordinator who, by the way, Nathaniel Hackett was another move by Rodgers to bring him aboard. Nathaniel Hackett is one of the worst NFL head coaches in history. He was a dumpster fire, a sack of sadness in Jacksonville, and he was also a complete pile of crap as the Broncos head coach a year ago, or a couple of years ago. It is crazy. So, okay, let's say you fired the interim head coach. Are you going to bring Nathaniel Hackett as the new head coach going from offensive coordinator, or is Nathaniel Hackett going to be the one calling plays and being the head coach and doing it all on the offensive side of the football? It is insane. Insane how this all went down today. It blows my mind. Blows my freaking mind. I mean, and let's be honest, guys. Aaron Rodgers has not been the same quarterback in about 3-4 years. He has not been the same top 5 quarterback in the NFL. The media on ESPN, the NFL Network, SiriusXM Radio have all been kissing Rodgers and the Jets' asses, saying that they're going to be the team that beat the Chiefs, blah, 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 blah. Well, right now, after 5 weeks, 2-3, it ain't looking like they're going to be the team that beat the Chiefs. Because when you got a massive ass ego and Aaron Rodgers stroking that massive ego in that locker room, throwing his weight around like LeBron James did in Cleveland about 8 years ago, firing their head coach David Black and getting Tyronn Lue as the head coach. And you better be glad that Tyronn Lue, after David Black was fired, won you a championship. You better pray to the football gods above, Mr. Rogers, and your neighborhood of Jets players, that you have success after this firing of Robert Saleh. Because I promise you that Saleh's firing could be beneficial to a team like the San Francisco 49ers. Because like Kevin said, now that he is a free agent on the coaching market, they can go after him too. Maybe next year. Bring his defensive prowess back to San Francisco and maybe lead them to another Super Bowl appearance. Who knows? Only time will tell. And it is crazy because the New York Jets were the heavy favorites by most people. And this is why all of us here on this show were skeptical about this team. Kevin said it. I said it. Ezra said it. Joey said it. We all said it. We don't know. We don't know how this team is going to be, because Rodgers at that time hadn't played a full season since 2022-23. And oh, by the way, here's their upcoming schedule for the next couple of weeks. Monday, they got the Bills. The next week, on the 20th, they got the Steelers. Then the next week is a winnable game. Should be against the Patriots. Then you played the Texans. Oh. And that's going to be on Halloween. That could be a scary night for the Jets offense because they could get blown out the door. And then they play the Cardinals. Then they play the Colts. So some of these games should be winnable. You need to beat the teams that need to be beat. But you're playing the Steelers, you're playing the Texans, you're playing the Bills. That right there could be 3 losses. Those are some of the games coming up in the next couple of weeks for the Jets. If you are Rodgers in that offense, you need to show up. Because firing your head coach is not going to make you a better team. I can promise you that. It's the results on the football field that matter. Again, folks, I am live right now riding solo until Joey joins me in the next few minutes. We are live here at youtube.com/Nation Sports Show. You can also follow us on Twitter or X at ON_Sports Show, Facebook.com/Our Nation Sports Show. Again, folks, what an action-packed week of the NFL from this past week. And also, while I'm talking about Mr. Rodgers and the Jets, I do want to kind of skip ahead a little bit and talk about the Vikings game from London from this past Sunday. Aaron Rodgers threw 3 interceptions in that game against that Vikings defense, including a pick 6. That's right, a pick 6. The first time that Rodgers has thrown 3 interceptions in his career in one game. Freaking crazy. And the Vikings improved to 5-0. They had to sweat it out a little bit, but they hung on and beat the Jets. I mean, listen. If you're the Jets after 5 weeks, again, like I said, you lost to the Niners when they were healthy. Of course, you're going to lose to good teams sometimes. Yeah, you beat the Titans. So freaking what? What do you want, a trophy after that? You lost to the Vikings. They were 4-0 heading into the game. Now, obviously, they went 5-0. You lost to the Broncos. How the hell do you manage that? Freaking nuts. Freaking nuts. You're panicking. 2, 3 weeks, 5 weeks into the season, when there's a lot of football to be left played. Rodgers has not looked good in these first 5 weeks. He's been awful. The offensive line has been awful. And you want to know why teams have had success in the NFL when they show up to training camp? Is because they're putting in the time. They're putting in the work. It's like me as a musician. If I don't put in the time as a drummer, I'm not going to get anywhere. If I don't practice my craft and get to where I want to be on the drum kit, I'm not going to go anywhere with it. Because if I put the sticks down and I don't play, I'm going to lose the skill. I'm going to miss certain things or miss certain timing because I'm not putting in the time. And the fact that Rodgers thought that, oh, hi guys, I'm not going to show up to training camp even though I'm healthy. Bye guys, thanks guys. Give me a freaking break. Give me a break. You know, there's one thing I believe in life: karma. I hope that karma bites the Jets on the ass, and I hope that the football gods laugh at this organization. Because if they do not win the games that they're supposed to win, and they lose to competition and don't be competitive, yeah, you deserve to have a losing season. No wonder myself, no wonder Ezra, no wonder Kevin, no wonder Joey have been skeptical on this football team. Going into the season, because we thought the Chiefs, we thought the Ravens, we thought, the Bengals have been up and down, but we thought the Ravens, we thought the Texans, we thought the Chiefs, etc. We're going to be some of the top teams in the NFL, and by record-wise, they are. Going into the season, I said, if the Jets are going to make a move and get to the playoffs, they're going to have to be consistent. They're going to have to put results on the field. How do you expect me to take you serious if you are not putting in the work? If you're supposed to be one of the top 5-10 quarterbacks of your era, you should be going out there. It don't matter if you're 40 years old or going on 40. Tom Brady, in his last couple of years with the Buccaneers in the NFL, he did not have to be playing football. But you want to know why Tom Brady kept playing in the NFL? Because he gives a damn about this sport. He loves this sport. He ate, slept, was breathing this sport. It was in his veins. It was in his blood. It was everywhere a part of him. Aaron Rodgers has only been to one Super Bowl with the Green Bay Packers and won the game against the Steelers in Dallas in 2011. Since then, he's been to multiple NFC Championship games and absolutely made a mockery of himself and his organization. And also, his team had parts in those losses. I mean, obviously, infamously in 2015 against Seattle, your backup tight end couldn't catch an onside kick to save his life. That right there cost you a second Super Bowl appearance in 4 years. Then he lost to the Falcons, got blown out on the road. He lost to San Francisco 2 years later, blown out on the road. Lost to the Bucs at home, hosting the NFC Championship game against Tom Brady and the Bucs. Choked that one as well. And since then, he hasn't done nothing. Since then, with the Packers and with the Jets, just one season so far. He's either not made the playoffs with the Packers, thanks to the Lions, knocking them out of the playoffs. And then last year, game 1 against the Bills, he got injured towards Achilles. This year, 5 weeks into the season, he's not playing like the top quarterback that the media said he was going to be. Ooh, yay! He's healthy! He's going to help the Jets to the Super Bowl. He's going to help the Jets get back to the promised land. He's going to help the Jets reach the top of the NFL mountain. Yay! He's an MVP quarterback. Just because you had the results on your resume, that doesn't mean shit. You can have all the accolades in the NFL or in the world of sports, no matter what sport you play. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. I'm just flabbergasted that Robert Saleh was shown the door 5 weeks into the season. But then again, I'm not surprised because this was a power move by Rodgers. This was a move by this organization to get him off of his case. Because, yeah, we've seen the last couple of weeks, the struggles that him and Saleh were having on the sideline. It is just amazing to me. Amazing to me how these players are given so much power and they think that they can do whatever the hell they want. Well, just like LeBron in the NBA, Aaron Rodgers, I hope you get what's coming to you. I hope that karma treats you like a literal sack of trash. I hope that this team gets a cold, hard slap from reality. Because Monday night, it's not going to be easy against the Buffalo Bills. It's not going to be easy. Again, folks, thank you for tuning in here tonight for another edition of our Nation Sports Show. During my birthday week, for those that don't know, my birthday will be this Thursday. And I've been enjoying my birthday week so far. And also tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern, AEW Dynamite will be on due to the MLB playoffs taking place tomorrow with some of the games happening, such as the Yankees and the Royals. And but yeah, I do want to touch upon week 5 before Joey gets in here. Starting off week 5, what a hell of a way to kick off the week. With the Buccaneers and the Falcons on Thursday Night Football in Atlanta. What a competitive game by both teams. Both quarterbacks came to play. Prime Captain Kirk, for once in his life, came to play on prime time. And he led the Falcons to a victory in overtime, 36-30, throwing for over 500 yards, including a walk-off touchdown. Just a great performance by Kirk Cousins, a great performance in the loss by Baker Mayfield. He played great. The Bucs had a couple of chances in this game to beat the Falcons and keep them out of field goal range, but the defense didn't get the job done. They let victory slip away from their fingertips. And the Falcons have looked pretty good the last couple of weeks. Got to give them credit. They've hung in with the Chiefs. They were a couple of plays away from possibly winning that game. They hung in with the Bucs and they were down a couple of times. And they eventually picked up the victory again, 36-30 in overtime. I touched upon the Jets in the Vikings game. Obviously, the Vikings won that game. Another game that jumped out to me, San Francisco losing to Arizona 24-23. I mean, my gosh. The injury bug has bitten San Francisco at the worst possible times already during this young season. And Brock Purdy, he's looked all right, but he's thrown some ugly interceptions in the last couple of weeks at times. And joining me right now, ladies and gentlemen, just in the nick of time, he is a Washington Commanders football fan. He is one of my good brothers. He is my brother from another mother, an all-around good dude. He will not attend your Diddy parties. He will instead be a good man to his wife and to his child. Ladies and gentlemen, JT Joey Thornton. What's going on, pal?
What's going on, everybody? I am so sorry that I am late. Had some stuff to take care of, but I'm here, and I'm going to keep my camera off while I grab me a quick bite to eat, but I'm still going to be here to talk some sports with y'all. So let's go.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I was just talking about the firing of Robert Saleh at the start of the top of the show for about 20-some-odd minutes because this was grabbing to me, Joey, because when Ezra broke the story that he had been fired, it is crazy to me how this political power within the organization wreaked havoc, because we all know that Aaron Rodgers has say-so in this organization because you brought him over from Green Bay in the offseason a couple years ago. Yeah, last year he didn't play but 4 snaps and got injured and tore his Achilles. So far, 5 games into the season, he has not been back to the quarterback where he was even 2-3 years ago. I wonder why. Oh, wait, because he was not attending mandatory training camp. So, my biggest thing with going into this, Joey, was to me, this was not all on the head coach. Now, was he a part of the problem? Yeah, but he wasn't the main culprit. The offensive line has been playing really bad blocking. Aaron Rodgers has thrown hideous interceptions, including on Sunday, 3 interceptions for the first time in his career in one game, including a pick 6 against the Vikings. And this is very telling to me because, yeah, the defense is playing pretty solid, but at the end of the day, the offense is not holding up their end of the bargain.
Well, let's see. Going back to what you said there, Steven, let's see. A player on a sports team that has say-so about what goes on with that organization. Let's see. Where have I heard this before?
Wait
Oh,
for it, wait for it.
Oh, that's right. LeBron freaking James for the Lakers.
Circle gets the square. Johnny, tell Joey what he's won.
I mean, seriously, yes, I'll admit Salo was part of the problem, but Aaron Rodgers is the main problem. Because, yes, the guy tore his Achilles after 4 plays last year against the Bills, which roughly is the team that he's going to be facing this upcoming Monday night.
Oh, how karma is a bitch.
So that's going to be a sight to see. But anyways, yeah, he tore his Achilles. He supposedly was healthy enough to come back towards the end of the regular season last year. But Saleh and that Jets organization was like, nah, we'll wait till next year.
Exactly.
So then word goes around that Rodgers, for the first time in his NFL career, is not going to play in the preseason. So he was like, I'm not going to play any snaps in the preseason? Well, then I ain't going to show up for minicamp. Kiss my ass. And that's exactly what he did.
It's crazy. Like, and it's like, I made the, the example, Joey, that, okay, me being a drummer, you guys know that I'm a drummer. If I don't put in the craft of being a musician and don't work on my craft to perfect my craft, I'm going to lose the skill. I'm going to lose the memorization of what to do at times.
Exactly.
Because sometimes timing can be an issue if you don't put in the work and put in the time on learning songs and playing songs, and especially playing with other musicians. If Aaron Rodgers does not put in the time, like in the off season, which he didn't, if he did, maybe he would have had results. Maybe his connections with Mike Williams and Lazard and other receivers would have been there, and Hall, would have been there, because we all know that Hall, with being a running back, he can also catch the ball in the backfield. Rodgers has missed some throws this year. I wonder why. Because you're not showing up to training camp.
Exactly. And last I remember, Aaron Rodgers is not Allen Iverson, who's talking about practice.
Practice?
Aaron Rodgers needs help. And that entire offensive line is absolutely putrid.
Oh, it's horrible.
Absolutely putrid. Because last year, when that offensive line was halfway decent, Breece Hall, while Aaron Rodgers was on the shelf, was tearing up that offense. He was finding holes. He was getting yards. He was getting touchdowns. And he was doing it all. This year,
he's not doing nothing.
Ain't doing nothing. He ain't doing nothing. But is it his fault? No. It's the O-line. Because the star offensive players, whether it's your quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, whatever, those will only be as good as the O-line around the quarterback. You have a sucky O-line, your quarterback's going to suffer, because it's going to be kind of hard for a quarterback to complete passes when he's lying on his back on the football field.
Exactly.
It's that simple.
Exactly. Now, also before you came in, I was also talking about getting into week 5. And like we talked about on Friday, what a great week. What a great way to start out week 5 with that great Thursday night game between the Falcons and the Buccaneers.
That was a shootout from the word go.
Yes, it was. I mean, the
For
Buccaneers and the
once,
Falcons back and forth was really good.
I think for just this week, we can actually put the statement to bed that Kirk Cousins doesn't perform well in prime time. Well,
Yeah.
he proved us wrong on Thursday. 509 yards passed, 4 touchdowns, only 1 interception against a tough and determined Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. Hey, it's pretty good stats for me.
Mm-hmm. And the Jets' schedule, going back to their schedule's not going to get any easier as well.
No.
The Bills, the Steelers.
And also Kirk Cousins for just a second. For once, he is actually playing like he deserved that contract that Atlanta gave him in the offseason. Unlike a certain massage-laden freak who
Oh, yeah.
likes to...
Another lawsuit on that guy.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll get to him in just a little bit because he had a good time against my Commander's front line this past Sunday. Had a great time. Lying on his back, that is.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
But yeah, that game in London, though, I mean, I'll admit, Minnesota, they weren't all the way there, but it was still able to do enough to where Sam Darnold was able to get some revenge against his old team.
Absolutely. And also moving down the schedule, talked about this too before you came on. What is going on with San Francisco? I mean, they look depleted. The injury bug has bit them again, losing to this Cardinals team, giving up a late touchdown to the Cardinals, and Purdy throwing that late interception to seal the game for Arizona to beat them 24-23. I mean, San Francisco has not played like we thought they were going to play. And the injury bug has a lot of, the reason why that's happening is because when you don't have your top players to play consistently week after week, you're gonna have games and where you're not gonna play great.
Oh golly! Speaking of the injury bug, I see him right now. Let me go and squash him before he reaches my Commanders. Bam!
Ah! Nice little segue. A bug just got destroyed.
But yeah, that injury bug is hitting San Francisco hard. I mean, they've lost so many players, and so many players are still on the injury list, but they're still able to go out and play. Because, I mean, Fred Warner, for example, he has been the mainstay of that San Francisco defense since he first arrived via the NFL draft. And yeah, he gets hurt a time or two, but do you see him complaining about it? No.
Nope.
He puts tape on it, works out, goes back out onto the field, and gets about 10 tackles, including 5 tackles for losses.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even an interception here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Fred Warner is an absolute monster right now, and it also did not help that they lost probably one of the best kickers they've had.
And Moody.
Since I don't even know how long, with Jake Moody injuring his, I want to say it was either his ankle or his Achilles trying to make a slide tackle.
It was his ankle.
His ankle, yeah. So now the 49ers have brought in a former Pittsburgh Steelers practice squad member. I believe his name is Matthew Wright, and he's going to be their kicker going forward. But yeah, I mean, there's no telling what's going on with the whole Christian McCaffrey storyline, because we hear that he's going to be out for the season. Then we hear he's going to be back by week 7, week 8. Then we hear he may not be back until like week 11, week 12. So honestly, it's hard to tell right now. But right now, Jordan Mason, he's trying his best to hold down the fort
Mm-hmm.
as the running game is concerned. And Purdy, I mean, yeah, he's not the shiniest tool in the shed, but he's starting to sparkle. Now, yeah, that last minute interception did hinder them from walking out with a victory over the Arizona Cardinals, but Purdy is still a decent quarterback. He's still got playmakers around him,
He does.
such as Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, Jawan Jennings, heck, even Jordan Mason still.
Sure. Yeah, because if McCaffrey can come back and play some games, like that could be a dangerous running back tandem.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, San Francisco is still not out of the realm of possibility they can make a run because this season is still young. We're 5 weeks in. It's not like we're 12, 13 weeks in. What? Like that's why I can't figure out. I keep going back to the Jets because why did the Jets make this move? It's not like they're 14, 15 weeks into the season.
Yeah, see, and sometimes a team has to start off slow to realize that they know that there's holes that need to be repaired, and it takes about a few weeks or two, or a few weeks here and there, but a team eventually starts repairing those holes, and before you know it, they're at the top of their own conference again.
Mm-hmm.
It happens.
Exactly.
And sometimes it could take longer than a year. Sometimes it could take 2, maybe even 3 years, which is the case for a team like the Detroit Lions. Who,
oh God, yeah, because the Detroit Lions for the longest time were
who
the laughing stock in the NFL.
Oh yeah, who granted had the week off last week, but yeah, what Dan Campbell has done with this Detroit Lions franchise, trading for Jared Goff, surrounding him with playmakers such as Amara St. Brown, Jameson Williams, Sam Laporta. I mean, even the two-headed tandem running back with David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and not only that, but also having a top-notch defense led by Aiden Hutchinson.
Yep.
I mean, Detroit has come a long way, and if I was Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys, I'd be shaking in my boots because Detroit's coming for y'all.
Oh yeah, and getting back to the Week 5 festivities, and there was a common thread during Week 5 because there was a lot of close games. A lot of close games. I mean, you had the Packers beat the Rams 24-19. You had there it is. You had like I said, you had the Packers beat the Rams 24-19. The Texans beat the Bills 23-20. And CJ Stroud played great in this game. And Josh Allen made some plays, but in the end, Houston and their defense made the right plays. And also they made the special team plays to get that victory. And the Bills lost their second consecutive game. The Giants beat the Seahawks 29-20. That was a weird game.
And also let's give a huge grand congratulations, one the only Jacksonville Jaguars for finally picking up a win on Sunday.
Yay! They got a victory! Yay! Whoop-de-doo.
I'm telling you, the Jaguars. Whenever I was watching highlights, I want to say it was yesterday. Somebody brought up a really interesting point, and that is the fact that Jaguars, even though they have a lot of help that needs to take place, believe it or not, they have the Colts number because the Jaguars have won the last 6 home games against the Colts, and the last, I want to say, 9 out of 10 games altogether against the Colts. And I'm just like, whoa, that is interesting.
You got a great point there. You got a great point there. The Broncos beat the Raiders 38-18.
Yeah,
Oof.
34-18 and
34-18, excuse me.
oh yes, about that dumpster fire game which saw Miami beat New England 15-10.
Oof. That was going to be a rough one. But you know what wasn't a
Oh,
rough one?
yeah, and also Lord, I love bringing this up, and that is the fact that David Tepper and that Panthers organization, if they're not shooting themselves in the foot by now, they need to be chopping their feet off because they have made the biggest mistake trading who they have traded away to Chicago to get Bryce Young, who's not even starting right now, and you go into Chicago and get your butts beat 36-10.
Oh,
Oh my god.
terrible. Terrible. I tell you what wasn't terrible, and our very own Kevin Rory called this game on the money last week. He said that the
Yes,
Ravens and the
he
Bengals
did.
game was going to be the game of the week, and good God almighty, good God and Miss Molly, it was the best game of the week. 41-38, Baltimore in
Back
overtime.
and forth. Back and
Great game.
forth.
Great freaking game. Joe Burrow was 30 of 39 for 392 yards, 5 touchdowns, including a 70-yard strike to Jamar Chase. Lamar Jackson had a great game as well.
Yeah,
Four passing touchdowns, 300-plus yards, 55 yards rushing in the ground. Derrick Henry had a big run to set up Justin Tucker's game-winning field goal, a 51-yard run. And Tucker we trust.
Yeah, speaking of Jamar Chase, there's something that he said after the game that sounded unpleasing to me.
What's that?
He was talking about how, of course, how they lost that game.
Mhm.
He's Somebody brought up the fact that he had a great passing or had a great game as far as the receiving core was concerned, but yet Jamar Chase looked into the camera, told him, grabbed a hold of that microphone, or not really grabbed a hold of it, but he put his face into the microphone and literally said that, oh, well, me and my quarterback need to be on the same terms.
Mm.
Are you kidding me? You had 9, or what was it, like 7, 8, 9 receptions for like 150, 160 yards and 2 touchdowns, but yet you and your quarterback aren't on the same page? What? How was that not being on the same page? Not many receivers can have a game like that.
What are you talking about, Chase? You had a great performance against your arch nemesis in Baltimore.
And I'm just like, you've got to be kidding me.
Oh, dear God.
But of course, another great game, or I would say a great game, but well, it was a great game for you and me, Steven, because we were so close in nailing the score of this game perfectly and the team to win. But of course, you hit the score right on the head.
And that never
was, of course-
happens.
And that was, of course, the Commanders and the Browns.
34-13.
Yep, and I said 34-14 last week, so I was 1 point away.
Yep. Crazy. 34-13 was the final. Never often do you see anybody on this show get not just the game right, but the score. And that's why we love doing these scores on the show on the fly. This Commanders team is looking pretty damn good right now. 4-1 after 5 weeks. They are definitively at the top of the NFC East. And Jaden Daniels is playing great football. Receivers are playing great. Defense is playing pretty solid. Running game's getting going. Offensive line's playing good, holding up so far.
Well, I'm telling you one thing. We're really gonna be put to the test this
Going to
upcoming.
Baltimore this week.
Yeah, we're really gonna be put to the test this week. We need to go out there and prove that these wins that we've gotten are not flukes. We need to
Mhm.
go out and back up what we've been doing over the past several weeks. And if we can walk out of Baltimore with a win on Sunday, I'm telling you, there is no doubt in my mind that this is going to be Washington's best year that we've had in a very long time.
They're kind of reminding me, Joey, of the Lions from last year when they made that Cinderella run to the NFC Championship game against San Francisco. Right now they are.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're playing very good football. And
yeah, speaking of the NFC East, how about that close-knit showdown on Sunday night, which actually turned into an early Monday morning game because of I think it was like a hour and a half weather delay.
yeah, thunderstorms were in the area of Pittsburgh, and there was also lightning in the area. It was raining and stuff, and obviously fans and player safety comes first. And that game was just weird because, like, I think the weather delay had a lot to do with that, because at first the quarterbacks weren't playing great. Prescott, wasn't getting going, and then obviously Justin Fields had times where he was making some plays here and there, but he wasn't getting great. But the offenses did not get going until the second half. And Dak Prescott during this game had some critical mistakes that could have cost Dallas the game, throwing 2 interceptions in this game. He did bounce back and throw a couple of touchdowns, including the game-winning touchdown. But the Cowboys are still not a perfect team. This team has the talent, but they have talent, but that doesn't mean you're going to have results. Again, just like with the Jets. The Jets seem to be the common thread throughout tonight's show with the firing of Robert Saleh. Because you can have all the talent in the world, but that doesn't mean nothing. You can have all the greatest accolades in sports, and it doesn't mean nothing. You can have the top best receivers in the NFL, top running back, top offensive line. If you ain't producing results, it means nothing. And this game was weird because, like, just the flow of the game, like, it was something was off. I really think the weather delay played a huge part in this game being strange. What are your thoughts?
I think so too, because it just seemed like both teams were having a lot of difficulty moving the ball. I mean, yeah, you were able to get some good plays here and there, and Dallas also had an absolute first because this was the first game, and I believe, in my honest opinion, that they did not have both Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence out there on that field, which is technically their top 2 defensive players.
Mm-hmm. And that right there can spell trouble for Dallas down the line, as the season continues, if they're out for multiple weeks, because
Which they are.
Yep. And it's this right there will put Dallas, put their pedal to the metal, as the season progresses, because their schedule doesn't get easy. And I mean, and it was a weird game because, like, at one point I thought Pittsburgh was going to win the game because the way the game was going. Like, Dallas just couldn't move the ball, consistently. They had spurts, where they were good, but CeeDee Lamb wasn't seeing the ball a lot of the times. He made a couple of catches here and there, but Prescott had to find other weapons to get in the end zone. And also, before that 4th down call, the running back almost fumbled the ball. Took the handoff, and the defender for Pittsburgh came up and just whack. Just hit him good, and punched the ball out. And Prescott luckily fell on top of the ball and recovered it. And that almost was a disaster for the Cowboys. And now, let me ask you this. Were you surprised that they went for 4th and goal for the win and they didn't go for the tie? Because normally, teams would have said, let's get the hell out of Dodge, for now and live to play another, another down. I I was a little surprised that they went for the win instead of the tie.
I'm not.
Really?
I'm not surprised at all because going back to his days when he was the head coach at Green Bay, Mike McCarthy has always been a risk taker.
Well, that's true.
He has always been a risk taker. So
And-
no, it did not surprise me at all for them to go.
And Prescott had to thread the needle to get that ball in because the pressure was coming.
Yep. But Dak Prescott was able to find Jalen Tolbert in the end zone, and Pittsburgh just couldn't stop him.
Yep, and he missed him on the other throw, which he was wide open. Prescott just missed him barely, but he made a nice recovery on the touchdown reception to win the game.
He did.
And wrapping up week number 5, it was the Chiefs beating the Saints on Monday Night Football, 26-13. And despite the Chiefs winning this game, again, it was an interesting game for them because Patrick Mahomes at times has not played good this year. Like, he has not played like the Mahomes that we have known. Now, and again, like we said on the show last week, he can put us up and shut us up like that. You know, if this Chiefs team can make a run in the playoffs, because if you're in the playoffs and and you make a run, you're looking at your regular season results going, yesterday don't mean shit. Because what matters is, and to my buddy Bo, if you're watching this at some point, I know you got that Pantera reference, and I love you for that, my brother. But yeah, because at the end of the day, you may not be having the greatest results of a season, during the season. But at the end of the day, if you make the dance and you make a run at the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl, that's all that matters. Now the ring added to your medal and your pedestal. But Mahomes did throw a touchdown in this game, and it'll be interesting to see how this team does going forward since the injury to Rashid Rice. And I know Mahomes feels like shit, for injuring him, but hey, things happen, and in sports, accidents happen. But Pacheco's out multiple weeks.
I was actually just about to bring that. I was actually going to mention that. So awesome job bringing that up, Steven. News actually broke today that Rashid Rice is indeed going to have to miss the rest of the regular season. Because even though he did not tear his ACL or his MCL, he did tear his LCL, which requires at least 4 months to be fully repaired.
If the cards fall in the Chiefs' direction and they are playing in January or the Super Bowl in February, he can't be back.
No, they're saying that he is going to be out for the rest of the season, regardless of how far the Chiefs go into playoffs. They're saying that as of right now, his best bet is to return for minicamp next year.
He'll return more quicker than Aaron Rodgers would.
You got a point.
Tell me when I'm telling lies, as CM Punk would say. But this Chiefs team, even though they're 5-0, they're not impressive to me. They're not playing like the juggernaut that they have played before when they've been 5-0. They're just winning. And I get it. A win is a win. It's better than a loss. But at some point, when you're winning these close games barely by the skin of your teeth, eventually that's going to bite you where the sun don't shine, because, as we all know, asked that to the Vikings a couple of years ago.
Yep.
Eventually, the close game winning streak was going to end, and it did. I mean, week 5 overall, minus a couple of games, so far, like I said on the pre-intro before the show, so far it's been the best week. And you wanted to get to the Browns. Holy crap. I forgot about that.
Well, let's just put this into perspective. Deshaun Watson hadn't played a game all year last year. Comes in, he comes into week 11, somehow guides Cleveland to the playoffs. Oh wait,
He didn't.
that wasn't him. It was the defense. Yeah, it was the defense.
And it was Joe
So
Flacco coming off the couch and being elite.
yeah, and that was also Joe Flacco helping out. But yeah, then Deshaun Watson decides he wants to have some more lawsuits put on him, but yet he still demands a $260 million contract. He gets it, signs his name on the dotted line, makes it official, and then what happens 5 weeks into the season? Oh yeah, he sucks. Flat out sucks. Hasn't played like he's worth 2 cents of that $260 million contract.
Oh yeah.
So now Cleveland can take that $260 million and flush it down the toilet. Because that's what's happening right now with Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, you can kiss their playoff chances goodbye.
And if he does not get his act together, he's going to become the first high-profile player. And yes, I'm still calling him high-profile because of that contract, but only because of that contract. But he's going to be the first high-profile player to sign a multi-million-dollar deal while sitting on the bench. Just saying.
As the old saying goes, you're a factory of sadness. That's what the Cleveland Browns are.
Yep.
Freaking hilarious. Hilarious. This Cleveland Browns organization is a literal dumpster fire of shit right now. How fitting it's the Browns. Again, folks, we are live here on YouTube for another edition of our Nation Sports Show. We are live here at youtube.com/Nation Sports Show. You can follow us on Twitter or X at @ON_Sports Show and Facebook.com/Our Nation Sports Show. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and all of that good stuff to your family and your friends who love the world of sports. And coming up here in the next few minutes, we will be beginning our Week 6 NFL prediction battles. Joey has Ezra and Kevin scores for week number 6. But before we get to all of that, I do want to bring up real quick, the MLB playoffs have been one word: parity and competitive.
I can also throw in the word exciting.
Yes. Agree.
Because both series in the American League are tied right now, with Detroit absolutely blanking Cleveland 3-0 yesterday, and Kansas City actually going into the Bronx and beating the Yankees.
Yep.
4-2.
Yep.
And then of course right now, I believe the Phillies and the Mets are playing right now, and whoa, the Mets are about to take a 2-1 series lead, because in the top of the ninth right now, they are up 7-2 over the Phillies.
Good God.
7-2.
If the Mets can hold up, they can make a run to the
and then of course
NLCS.
Tonight, first pitch at approximately 9:08 Eastern Time, 6:08 out west. It's going to be the LA Dodgers going into San Diego to take on the Padres.
Yep. Yeah, it's very interesting. Like once the baseball playoffs come around, this is where it really gets exciting, because that's where a lot of the games can, pun intended, swing in different directions. And the Mets right now had this, good luck charm on their side, because they were a couple of outs away, or they were an out away, from being eliminated against the Brewers. But one swing of the bat from Pete Alonso sent a 3-run homer to put the Mets up 3-2 on the Brewers. A team that could not hit the bronze side of a barn all game long. The bats were cracking at the perfect time of the game last week. And if you're a Brewer fan, I feel for you. But yeah, I guess while we wait on Hijacker, you want to go ahead and get this started, Joey?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get this started. I'm writing down Ezra's scores right now.
Again, folks, we are waiting on Hijacker to join us here in the next few minutes. He'll be joining myself and Joey here to give our Week 6 predictions for the upcoming week of games. And hopefully Week 6 will be just as competitive as the last week.
Yeah, just sending a message to Hijacker right now, asking or telling him to come on in whenever he's ready.
Yep. And Week 6 will be getting things started this Thursday, as always, with Thursday Night Football.
Yes, and in that Thursday night.
And but before I forget that, I forgot to say, what were the results last week?
Oh yeah, it was quite an interesting week last week.
Especially knowing that since all of us lost that Thursday night game.
Once again, we had a three-way tie with me, Steven, and Hijacker, all posting 7-7 records. And
Yep.
Kevin and Ezra rounded up the pack with respectable 6-8 records, so only one game behind.
Yep. Very interesting week of scores, predictions last week. Looking forward to another great week of football this week. And as we always do, we kick off with Thursday Night Football. And the first game of the week will be the San Francisco 49ers facing their NFC West rivals, the Seattle Seahawks.
All right. Finishing up, putting down Ezra's scores. So while I'm doing that, I'll go ahead and start off with his score. He has the Niners beating the Seahawks 24-20.
Ooh, okay.
Let's see. Finishing up, putting down Ezra's score. Oh, and let me just say, for those of y'all who aren't aware about what Kevin does whenever he can't be on the show when it comes to making these NFL scores, he comes up with some crazy team names.
Yes, he does.
He did not disappoint this week. Trust me, he did not disappoint.
Oh, and joining at the right time.
And joining us right on time as we are as we are about to start our pick segment. Joining us right on time from out in the Bay Area, ladies and gentlemen, smoking the Bay man, Mr. Hijacker Mike. How's it going, brother?
What's up, y'all? What's going on with it? What's good?
Doing good, my brother. Just hanging in there.
Yeah, we're doing good. Just got things started off with our pick segment.
Right on, man. Yeah, it was one hell of a weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I was telling Steven earlier that it was the three of us that are actually here tonight who went 7-7 last week, and Ezra and Kevin went 6-8.
Yeah, that's like the second week in a row or something where we had freaking either 500 or below. Yeah, damn. Talk about being off and having one crazy week in the NFL, man.
Yeah, and a lot of close games. Like a lot of close games happened last week, and hopefully maybe this week will be another competitive week.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of victories that we didn't think would happen, Santa Clara, the Raiders, it's insane.
Yeah, I mean, the Broncos winning 2 in a row, and the Niners losing again. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, just crazy week. But
oh yeah,
rattle out that score again, Joey, for Ezra again.
Yeah, Ezra has the 49ers beating the Seahawks 24-20. And
Oh boy, here comes Kevin's score.
Kevin is picking the Seattle Seahawks over the 49 IRs 27-17. With a side note, the Seahawks rushed for 200 yards.
Wow, he's going against his Niners.
But yeah, he said the Seattle Seahawks.
Seattle, that sounds like something Tree would say on his YouTube video. Seattle Seahawks? Seattle Seahawks won the Super Bowl?
Well, shit.
Give me this is tough. Give me give me San Francisco. I don't feel good about it. Give me San Francisco 24-21.
All right.
Yeah. I got San Francisco rebounding on this one, 28-21 in Seattle.
Oh, wow. You're actually calling them San Francisco this time and not Santa Clara?
Yeah, I said it a minute ago. Yeah, Santa Clara. Well, San Francisco 49ers of Santa Clara, I should say, because everybody was dying of heat stroke out there the other day.
Oh,
Or no,
yeah,
was it
that
last
is
week?
true.
Where did they play? Did they play at home? Yeah, they were at home. So they said it was damn near 120 on the field, 118 or some shit like that.
Whoa.
But that's those nice press boxes they got up there that intensifies that sun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and follow suit with everybody else except for Kevin, of course. I think Seattle. I mean, this is the same Seattle team that got beat by the Giants this past week. So there's no way they're going to be able to compete with San Francisco, whether San Francisco has all their starters out or not. Give me the 49ers in this one. I'm going to go 23-13. All right. Coming up next. Well, we have a team that's playing in their home away from home. And the reason I say that is because the Jacksonville Jaguars always find a way to have a game in London. Because they've had a game in London for the past 4 or 5 years. So yeah, this is becoming their home away from home. And they're going back to London on Sunday to play a morning game, at least from the Eastern time perspective, taking on Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, Chicago. I think Chicago has this one on edge, man. This is going to be a 17-16 game to me. Chicago pulling it out by 1 point.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Okay. All right, let's see. I'm writing down Kevin's score here. He's got the Bears over the Dotted Dumbcats 24-20.
Chicago and Jacksonville, right?
Yeah.
Oh God, give me Chicago. Give me Chicago 23. Let's see, 24-14.
Okay. Let's see. Ezra is picking, of course, his Bears. He's picking the Bears over the Jags 27-14. And I, of course, am going to follow suit because Jacksonville is not playing Indianapolis, so that means they're going to suck. Give me the Bears in this one. I'm going to go...
Interesting.
I'm going to go 20-10.
Interesting.
All right. Ooh. Oh, boy. Up next. It is two teams who will be going against each other in what's known as the Battle of the Beltway. The battle between a one of the best dual threat quarterbacks in the game, and one who's starting to make his way up, along with great running backs, great receivers. This is just going to be an all-around great game altogether. Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders going up to Baltimore to take on Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens.
Ooh, this is going to be a slugfest.
This is going to be a slugfest, and as much as I want to say I want my Commanders to go into Baltimore and win, this is going to be a very hard game to win. Do I think Washington can stay competitive? Oh, absolutely, especially based on what they've done so far up to this point in the season. But I think Baltimore is going to do just enough to walk out of their stadium with a win, and I believe this is going to come not on the legs of Lamar Jackson, but on the legs of Justin Tucker. Give me Baltimore on a game-winning field goal, 37-35.
That's a score.
Yeah, that's one hell of a score.
And Ezra is picking the Ravens over the Commanders, 28-26. And Kevin is going with the Purple Birds over the Washington Daniels, 37-33.
That's great. The Washington Daniels. I can't follow that. Give me Baltimore in a close one. Give me Baltimore 31-27.
Okay.
Yeah, I got Baltimore 31-17 in this one as
Ooh.
Lamar finds the edge of the earth, which will be flat that day.
He's going with Baltimore outright.
The world is a flat earth.
Oh my Lord, Steven, with your music references.
No, this is a reference. I was in a friend's live stream, and this guy was talking about how the world is flat, the earth is flat, and I made a parody of that Smashing Pumpkin song. The song goes, "The world is a vampire." I changed it to "The world is a flat earth."
All right.
But yeah, that's gonna be a good game.
Up next, a battle up in Lambeau, which is going to feature Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers playing host to Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals. I'm going to go and start off with Ezra's score in this one. He's got the Cardinals pulling this one out on the road, 24-21 over the Packers. And Kevin has got the Packers pulling this one out at home, 20-17 over the Cardinals.
Score similar to mine. Give me Green Bay 20-16.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah, I got my former center fielder running all over the place for the victory. Arizona 23, Green Bay 16.
Oh, okay.
Whoa, okay. Well, that means I'm going to break the tie here, and Packers are playing at home, so I got to give the edge to Green Bay. Give me the Packers. I think Kyler Murray is actually going to keep it close because for once he's actually taking a break from Call of Duty to actually play some football for a change. But yeah, give me the Packers in this one. I'm going to go... You know what? I'm feeling just a teensy bit odd. Give me the Packers 26-19. All right. Oh, God. This one. Alert. Alert. Ass kicking. Alert. Ass kicking. Alert.
Oh, boy.
With the report going down that Drake May will be making his very first start on Sunday, he's got to deal with the Houston Texans.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy.
I'm going to go in and get things started off with Ezra's and Kevin's scores. Kevin is picking the Texans 35-3.
Yeah,
And
give me the Texans to absolutely bitch slap the Patriots. Give me the Texans. Give me the Texans 30-3.
all right, and Ezra's going a little close with this one. He's picking the Texans over the Patriots 23-17.
That's being ultra generous there, Ezra.
Yeah, that's being a little too generous. I'm gonna go with Houston outright. I'm gonna go 34-6. Sorry, Drake.
Gotcha. Houston 28, New England 13. They'll squeeze in a touchdown there somehow.
All right.
Okay.
Ooh, coming up next, a crucial NFC South showdown with Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Bucks going into the Bayou to take on the New Orleans Saints.
This
Let's
one
see. Ezra is
go
picking
ahead,
the
man.
Saints. Ezra is picking the Saints in this one, 21-20.
Yeah.
And let's see. Kevin is picking the Bucks over the Saints, 27-26.
Ooh, good scores. Good scores.
Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards Carr. What's going on with Carr in his back after he got hit last night? But I have New Orleans rebounding because they're on a losing streak. So I think New Orleans is going to pull this one out 27-25.
That's a good score. Give me the Bucks. Give me the Bucks to win and a close one as well. This being a divisional game. This is their second consecutive divisional game in a row. Give me the Bucks to win in a close one. I got the Bucks winning 27-23.
All right, Steven, you said the Bucks, and Hijacker, you said the Bucks as well?
He said the Saints.
The Saints, okay.
I got 27-23 Saints. Bucks. I got 27-23 Bucks. He's got Saints 27-25.
All right, I'm going to go with the Bucks. I think this is going to be a close one. Give me the Bucks 28-24.
Ooh, see, I had that score in mind, but I was like, I'm going with Tampa, but I'm like, do I want to do 28-24, 27-23? I was like, I'll go with a little odd, 27-23 Tampa. And it's going to be interesting to see how Tampa plays, considering they had to beat this Storm, to get to New Orleans, early in the week.
Yeah, they have to come out there and practice all week. So I don't know if they're going to be in a dome or if they're outside in the open. But then again, I don't know the weather down there. So
yeah.
Honestly, I think I saw a report saying that Tampa Bay has been forced to evacuate in regards to the storm. So I'm not sure exactly where they are, but I think
they are in New Orleans because Tampa had to fly to New Orleans yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, they had to leave home because of the threat.
Yeah, in order to get to New Orleans for the game, they had to leave yesterday.
Okay, let's see. Everybody gave their scores on that one?
Yep.
All right, so, attention, ass kicking alert, volume 2, ass kicking alert, volume 2. Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns going up to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me the Eagles. Give me Philadelphia 27-6.
Yeah.
I'm going Hijacker.
Yeah, I got Philadelphia 24-10.
All right, let's see. Kevin is picking. Whoa, shut out City. He's picking the Eagles 24-0.
Okay.
And let's see. Ezra is picking. I swear, we gotta have a talk with Ezra. He's being too generous with these scores. He's got the Eagles over the Browns 30-21.
Oh.
He's being too generous. If the Eagles can't put up, if the Eagles can only put up 13 points against that Commanders front seven, they ain't gonna put 10 up against this Eagles front seven. Give me the Eagles outright, 38-7.
Okay.
All right. Up next, a battle in the Music City of Nashville. Either Anthony Richardson or Joe Flacco for the Indianapolis Colts going into Tennessee to take on the Titans.
Ooh.
And I'm going to go and get things started up with their scores. Let's see. Ezra is picking the Colts 17-13. And let's see. Kevin is, well, with a side note here, he said Flacco goes for 300 yards again. The Colts over the Titans 24-17.
Yeah, give me the Colts to beat the Titans. Give me the Colts winning 24-13.
Okay.
Yeah, give me Indianapolis, but this is going to be a close game, 10-9.
You said you're picking the Colts there, Hijacker?
Yeah, 10-9.
Okay. Ooh, very close. Give me the Colts as well. I'm going to go 17-10.
All right.
All right, let's see. Now going out west, or I wouldn't say you totally out west, but to the Rocky Mountains for this next one. Justin Herbert and the LA Chargers coming off their bye to take on Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos. Let's see. Kevin is picking the Chargers over the Donkeys, 28-20. And Ezra is picking the Chargers over the Walmart Throwbacks, 20-18.
Give me the team. Give me the team formerly known as the San Diego Chargers to beat the Donkeys 27-17.
Same score. Same score, 27-17.
Yeah, I don't see a 100-yard Patrick Surtain interception in this one. Give me LA 21-16.
That's a good score.
It is a good score. All right, up next. Oh, this is going to be Pittsburgh's time to really rebound as they go to Vegas to take on the Raiders.
Yeah, give me Pittsburgh to beat the Raiders. Give me Pittsburgh to beat Vegas 24-10.
All right. Let's see. Ezra is picking the Steelers over the Casino Raiders, 21-16. Let's see.
Oh boy.
Kevin is picking Schittsburg over the Pee Wee Raiders, 24-3.
God bless it.
Yeah, we got a bunch of quarterback issues and a possible wide receiver issue coming soon here in Las Vegas. Give me Pittsburgh 24-17.
All right. I'm going to go with the Steelers as well. Vegas has enough problems already not named Devontae Adams. So give me the Steelers in this one. I'm going to go a little odd here. 25-14.
Damn, now that is odd.
All right. Up next, from Charlotte, North Carolina, another crucial NFC South showdown. with Kirk Cousins and the Atlanta Falcons going into Carolina to take on the Panthers. Let's see. Ezra is picking the Falcons over the Panthers 27-3.
Wait, he's not going 28-3?
Nope, he's not going 20. I like what you did there. Okay, this name right here. Oh my gosh, Kevin had me absolutely rolling on the floor 2 and 3 times over in this one. He's saying his words, not mine. The Fat Atlanta Falcons over the Kittens, 23-6. The Fat Atlanta Falcons.
Again, I can't follow that. Give me the dirty birds to clip the wings of the kitties, or to clip the claws of the kitties and the fur of the kitties. Give me the Falcons over the Panthers. Give me Atlanta 27-3. No, screw it, 28-3.
Give me the Falcons over the Panthers 33-3.
Yeah. Usually cats drag in birds, but in this case, Atlanta Falcons are going to catch the kittens and beat them 16-10. They're pulling kittens into the nest this weekend.
All right. Up next, our last 4:25 game of the afternoon. Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions coming off their bye week to take on Dak Prescott and the Cowboys.
Ooh.
Let's see. Ezra is picking the Lions over the Cowboys 28-24. And Kevin is picking the Lions over the Cowbabies 38-10.
Outright. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Lions outright as well. They're going to be hungry to put some points on the board following their bye week, especially against a weakened Dallas defense. Give me Detroit in this one, 35-13.
Yeah, I'm feeling the same way Joey's feeling. Give me Detroit to outright beat up on the Cowboys, 41-14.
I'm going against the grain. Against the grain. I have a barn burner. It's going to be a drag-out fight. I think Dallas is going to find a way to get it somewhat together. Dallas 21, Detroit 20.
Whoa.
Okay. All
right.
Up next on Sunday Night Football from MetLife Stadium up in Manhattan, New York, is going to feature Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals taking on Danny freaking Dimes, Flopper Jones, and the New York Giants.
Oh, man.
All right, let's see. Ezra is picking the Bengals over the Giants 27-21 in this one. And Kevin is picking the Bugles over the Little Giants after that movie from several years ago, 27-24.
Bugles.
Rick Moranis.
As long as we've been doing this show, I don't think I've ever heard the Bugles being referenced on this show. Tremendous.
Damn.
Outstanding.
So yeah, I'm going to go with Cincinnati in this one. I think the Giants, they had their week in the sun beating Seattle this past week. They ain't going to beat Joe Burrow. Give me the Bengals in this one. I'm going to go 31-14.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Steven. You're on.
Give me Cincinnati. Give me Cincy to beat up on the Giants, 28-10.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with y'all on this one. Cincinnati 30, Giants 17. I don't know how they're going to get 17, but they'll find a way to get there. Maybe a couple safeties. We haven't said it.
That's true. That's true. We haven't said safety so far this week, so. All right, and ladies and gentlemen, in a rematch from week 1 last year, Monday Night Football, Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills going into New York to take on Aaron Rodgers and the Jets.
I do not trust this Jets team. Give me the Bills to rebound after 2 consecutive losses. Give me the Bills to squeak out a victory, scoring a late touchdown, pulling away 28-20.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pick the Bills outright. I'm picking the Bills 31-7. And Ezra is picking the Bills over the Jets 31-18. And this is definitely the best name yet from Kevin. He's picking the Bills over the Fraudgers 36-7.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah, he's not calling. Yeah, and yep, the Fraudgers.
Yeah. Well, I have Buffalo smashing this one 35-17, but Aaron Rodgers, I heard earlier this week, had a phenomenal record in his career. He's only thrown, was it 5 pick sixes? And which was one was this past weekend, I think.
Yep.
Yep, I think you would be correct on that.
He'll throw another one this weekend.
Oh!
I'm feeling
okay.
lucky. I'm feeling lucky. Maybe the Wyatt Six will show up for him.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
Maybe so.
I guess that's the
But
wrap for the
that'll
week
do
on the scores.
Yeah, it is.
All right,
Yeah,
brothers.
that'll do it for Week 6 NFL games.
All right, brothers.
And again, I know we don't really talk about the bye teams, but the last 2 undefeated teams, Kansas City and Minnesota, along with the Rams, who definitely need it, and Miami, who definitely need
it. Yep.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, as always, I got to roll because I got a shift starting shortly. Thank you for allowing me to join. You guys have a good week and good rest of the show. Everybody knows where to reach me at. Hijacker Mike on Instagram, Mr. Mac on Twitter, and Smoking the Bay if you are a cigar fan.
Oh, that's right.
All right,
have you posted any new videos for Smoking the Bay there?
Yeah, I usually post about 3 videos to 4 videos a week, my little shorts. Since I'm in the middle of a heavy haul with the main job, I don't have time to do my full, 7-8 minute reviews, but I'll get back to them shortly. But I do post weekly reviews several times a week, smaller, shorter 1-minute reviews of cigars and stuff. So if they hit up Smoking the Bay, smoke the letter N, THA, and BAY, Bay. You'll find me there smoking cigars and having fun.
All right, you heard him. That is smoke, and then the letter N, and then THA, and then Bay. That's where you'll find Hijacker Mike posting his reviews on his cigars that he does week after week. Yeah. So Hijacker, awesome having you tonight, man. Have fun with your shift and have fun watching the football that you watched this week, and we'll see you next week, brother.
Oh, hell yeah. All right, brothers, y'all have a safe week. We'll catch up with you next week if I don't be on overtime.
All right, Hijacker.
Later, brother.
Peace.
Peace out, bro.
All righty. That was awesome, as always.
That was awesome.
Great scores this week.
Oh, yeah, great scores. Well, I believe there is one other thing that I want to bring up real quick, and that is the fact that we saw some pretty big upsets, not in the NFL, but in college football over this past week. And
yes,
unfortunately, one of those upsets was my Alabama Crimson Tide losing for the first time in 40 years to Vanderbilt by a score of 40-35, but I gotta say, I'm actually kind of glad we lost that game. And let me tell you why. Because two things were proven in that game. And that is the fact that, one, our current head coach, Kalen DeBoer, he's a good coach, but he's not Nick Saban.
Nope.
He still has a lot of work to do. And once again, number two, this NIL deal, this NIL crap has completely ruined the game of college football.
Yes, it
Because
has.
players, they go out and not only do they earn scholarships, but now they're going out playing for sponsorships, and which is giving them more money in their pocket. But the scholarships alone should be enough.
And and we talked about this before too, Joey. Like, we did have concerns about, all of us have expressed our concerns about these kids getting paid, this money. And the thing that gets me with this whole situation is college sports has always for years has been about the passion, the love for the game. Because like in March Madness during March and April, when the tournament's happening in basketball, those kids pour their blood, sweat, and tears into basketball. They bust their asses all the time out there on that basketball court, day in and day out, training for the game, practicing hard, and playing hard, and these kids now in football are getting paid, and it seems like these younger kids, some of them are taking this money, running with it, and doing things they shouldn't be doing. Because if you truly love the game of football and you're getting paid, if you truly love the game of football or any sport that you play for that matter, you show up no matter what and you give it your all, getting ready for the week of the game, the opponent that you're playing. And
yeah, absolutely.
in Alabama, I really think you can agree with this. They needed a wake-up call.
Yes, I was actually also going to bring up Alabama needed a wake-up call, because that win the week before against Georgia, which gave him that number one ranking. I mean, I honestly believe that these young players saw that number one ranking and they started to get a big head, saying, "Oh, well, we're the number one team in college football. Ain't nobody gonna beat us now." But they got their butts beat by Vanderbilt.
They did.
And I mean, yeah, Alabama tried everything they could to get back in the game, but Alabama never took a lead in that game. Vanderbilt came out swinging from the word go, and Vanderbilt actually did what they needed to do to win this game. And Alabama, they definitely needed this wake-up call, because now they know that any team can be beat on any given Saturday.
Yep, that's right. Because anything can happen in the world of sports at any given minute. Any team can be beaten on any given day. Doesn't matter what your resume is. And Bama learned that the hard way over the weekend against Vanderbilt. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. But other than that, now this game has gone final. Like we were talking about earlier, the Mets beating the Phillies. Do you think the Mets are they gonna make them? Are they gonna make a magic carpet ride to the World Series? Because they're or is Philadelphia gonna get back into this and they're gonna get back in this divisional series, and can they tie this series up?
I don't know. I mean, Philadelphia tends to dominate in the postseason whenever they play the Atlanta Braves.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to other teams, Philly doesn't have that same competitiveness about them. So, I mean, unless they were able to pull a rabbit out of a hat, which I found out they were not able to do, because the Mets did wind up beating them 7-2 to go up 2-1.
Game Philly, you gotta have this game on. You got to have this game if you're Philadelphian,
Oh yeah,
in
you
game
got
4.
to.
You got to.
You got to, because if you don't, you're done. You're absolutely done.
Yep. Yep. There's no turning back for Philadelphia.
No,
Because the Mets win again, they're off to the championship series.
yep.
This is the best run they've had in a
Also,
couple of years.
also want to bring this up. We had a nationally watched sport kick off their season tonight, and that, of course, is the NHL.
That's right.
The NHL is kicked off their season. And right now on ESPN, with 15:28 to go in the second period, the Florida Panthers are absolutely crushing the Boston Bruins right now, 4-1.
Not a great way to start off if you're the Bruins.
Yep. Oh, and also, if I also want to bring this up, that if you are a football fan, whether it's college or NFL, we are right in the midst of enjoying a 55 consecutive day holiday. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we are in day number 7 of 55 consecutive days in which an NFL football game or a football game is going to be on TV. So if you are as big a football fan as all of us here on the sports show, enjoy your 55-day holiday. Because it's in full swing, baby.
Yes, it is. Now, as far as continuing with baseball here for a few minutes, what are your thoughts on the Yankees and the Royals? Who do you have winning that series and going to the ALCS?
As much as I hate seeing the Yankees go far, I got to go with the Yankees.
Unfortunately, I have to agree.
The Yankees have too much talent on that roster to lose to an uprising team like the Kansas City Royals.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as the other series with Detroit against Cleveland, I'm honestly on the fence with that one, because Detroit, they had their good games, but then they also had their bad games. Same thing with Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
So it will be interesting.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. And real quick, what about the Dodgers and the Padres?
I mean, granted, the Dodgers, they had some difficulty with the Padres here in the regular season. The Padres took, I believe it was 8 out of 13 from the Dodgers in the regular season. But this is the playoffs. The Dodgers always tend to step it up in the playoffs, so I'm going with the Dodgers.
Okay. But other than that, anything else you want to talk about before we wrap this up?
I think I'm clear.
Think I'm clear as well. Final thoughts?
Once again, another great show with you guys. It was awesome having Hijacker join us for the pick segment. Hate that Ezra and Kevin couldn't be on, but I'm sure Ezra has enjoyed some Southern homestyle cooking tonight, which, by the way, I'm still jealous because I love you some Southern homestyle cooking.
Yeah, she can't be the homestyle Southern cook home meal.
No, you cannot. And Kevin, whatever he's got going on with him, hope everything turns out well with that. But in the meantime, it was awesome being here tonight.
I'm sorry, but not to cut you off, but there's one thing I did want to talk about. Bad Blood.
Okay.
Hell in a Cell.
Oh, yes. Bad Blood took place. That's right.
Highlighted by CM Punk and Drew McIntyre's barbaric Hell in a Cell match. That was incredible. Incredible.
Absolutely incredible. Those two literally went to hell and back in that match.
They beat the living hell out of each other. I mean, there were bruises all over their bodies. Like, they were both banged up.
Yeah, and Drew McIntyre and Drew McIntyre had to get 16 staples on top of his head.
Woo.
16 staples.
Crazy,
So,
crazy.
yeah, those two literally went to hell and back. And of course, in the main event, Cody Rhodes and his unlikely ally and Roman Reigns were able to turn away Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu of the Bloodline, but it didn't come without a little bit of controversy.
Yes, sir, you're right about that.
As first off, Jimmy Uso finally made his return after being kicked out of the Bloodline months ago. And of course, the final boss, The Rock, made his return as well.
Yep, he's back. And also after the show,
back.
Kevin Owens attacked Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, thus solidifying his heel turn, but I had a feeling it was coming. It was coming, but I didn't think it was going to be Kevin Owens, though. I figured it was going to be Randy Orton, which it may eventually turn out to be Randy Orton.
Maybe Cody will be facing both of them at once, and not at once, but maybe down the line he'll be facing one of them, or both of them one-on-one at some point. But yeah, should be very interesting where they go, because obviously Survivor Series happening and War Games being in Vancouver, and the Bloodline I think is going to be the centerpiece of that. And also in a couple weeks you got Crown Jewel with Gunther versus Cody. That should be interesting.
And Nia Jax versus Liv Morgan.
Yeah, that'll be happening as well. And speaking about to be happening, AEW Dynamite is about to be happening in the next, 8 minutes.
That's right, because they're having a special Tuesday show, I believe, this week.
Yep, since the playoffs will be overtaking that tomorrow on TBS and TNT. So, great show with you tonight, my brother. Looking forward to seeing you again next week for the show.
Absolutely, and that's pretty much it for me. Steven, you know how to wrap this up, brother, so go ahead.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
But before you actually do that, I'm gonna go ahead and actually log off for the night because I gotta deal with this precious little man that I'm currently watching right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and get off here for the night. So
all right, my man.
Peace out, and I'll see you guys next week.
Yep. Great job, man. Great job by Joey and Hijacker coming on here tonight, being a part of the show tonight. And hate that Ezra and Kevin couldn't be on the show tonight. Hopefully, Kevin, whatever's going on, my brother, hopefully everything's going to be okay. You know, we're here for you, my man. And looking forward to another great week with you guys next week. And looking forward to spending the rest of the week of my birthday week. That's my birthday will be this Thursday, going out celebrating. That's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to enjoying the sports later on in the weekend. Looking forward to SmackDown on Friday to see where they go with the Bloodline and what's happening with Cody and KO. That should be interesting. But again, folks, follow us on Twitter at Owen_Sports Show, Facebook.com/Nation Sports Show, and where we are live on most Tuesdays. Sometimes we have to flex the show to Wednesdays due to scheduling. But usually it's the same time, same channel. YouTube.com/Nation Sports Show, where we are live on most Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, 4 p.m. Pacific time. And again, thanks to Kevin and thanks to Joey thanks to Kevin and Ezra for sending in their scores. Thank you to Joey and thank you to Hijacker for helping me out here tonight during the show tonight. And for those that watch this live, thank you very much. And for those that watch this on demand, thank you very much as well. And right now, I'm going to get off of here as well because we are out of time. Because right now, AEW Dynamite is starting in the next 6 minutes. Less than 5 minutes until Dynamite goes on the air. And with that being said, I'm going to get out of here for the night. Enjoy some RASSLIN, that's wrestling. Enjoying wrestling. RASSLIN, that's wrestling. Join the wrestling. Again, everybody, thank you for tuning in tonight. For those that tune in later on in the week, thank you very much as well for tuning in, giving us a look, and watching our show. And looking forward to next week coming on here and recapping week 6 in the NFL and all of the world of sports. Enjoy the hockey. Enjoy the football. enjoy the wrestling. Most importantly, enjoy each other's company. Go out there and make memories. Make a difference on the world. Be good to one another. Treat each other like you want to be treated well. And also, before we go, I do want to send my thoughts and my prayers and condolences to everybody affected by Hurricane Milton happening in the state of Florida. It's a very deadly storm, and hopefully my family and my friends that are out there, you guys are staying safe during this typical time. And to everybody still affected by Hurricane Helene here in the Carolinas, the state of Georgia, and Tennessee, stay strong. To my family and friends across the South, love you all. Again, to Joey, Thornton, Hijacker Mike, K-Rod, Kevin Rory, Ezra Vickery, and everybody else, I've been your host for this evening, Stephen Wyand. And this has been another edition of our Nation Sports Show. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy the sports. Enjoy the wrestling. Enjoy the hockey. And all the things in between that is great in life. Have a great rest of your week and upcoming weekend. Peace.
Turn me up. Turn me up. Turn me up. Turn me up. Turn me up.